Hey, hello. I am Luke, and this is my baby, Interdimensional.One. Been coding Interdimensional.One the last month and a half, 2 months. Interdimensional.One is a generative art and music experience that feeds completely off of NFTs. It's a portal from your monkey mind to a place of stillness. And it's the first ever NFT marketplace for sound designers. All right. That's a lot, huh? Okay, let's break it down. What exactly does that mean? When I started this project, I wanted to create something that was almost like a game for non-gamers, a way for people who just need to relax in the middle of the day or at the end of the day, just rewind. They can interact with the app. They can watch the visuals change and evolve. They can interact with the visuals, they can move them. The music that it generates is the type of music that can fade into the background. You can meditate to it. It's simple enough to not be distracting, but it's also dynamic enough that it's not going to get boring. Now, I had this idea as I was building this. I thought, well, what if the colors and the sound design were actually encapsulated in an NFT? And the more NFTs that you own, the more NFTs that you collect, the more you're able to do with this system. The more the system is going to look interesting and sound interesting. The base of a song is a drone sound. A drone sound is a deep bass sound that's just sort of there, slowly moving, slowly evolving, and that's the foundation upon which we build the rest of the music. The next step is our pad sounds. Now, pad sounds are piano chords. They're 3 and 4 notes played together. Slow, soft, long, evolving sounds. And then we've got rhythms. Those are played on top of it. The logic I use, the algorithm I use to generate the pad sounds and the rhythms and all these things is what I call, it's basically organized randomness or beautified randomness. Okay, so I use principles of randomness to make sure nothing's ever the same again, but then I create rules around it. I say, okay, we've got thousands of years of music theory. Let's listen to music theory in terms of what sounds good together and apply rules so that our randomness doesn't just create just, loud, obnoxious noise that aren't going to work together. And it's these principles of beautified randomness that I apply throughout the whole process. When you go to actually mint an NFT, what you see is this. And you notice it's just a color and the option to preview a sound. And I intentionally picked 2 things that evoke feeling and emotion more so than outright tell you what it is. But, to make it more interesting, when you press mint, boop, that color fades away and reveals a design under it. Now that design too is generated due to principles of beautified randomness. Every one is going to be different. The number of orbits, the number of planets, all these things are going to be different. But I use an algorithm to make sure it doesn't look too messy and too ugly, that they all sort of look unique. Now when you do click mint, the animation happens, right? Boop. But as soon as we communicate back to the smart contract I wrote, that animation is frozen in time. So when you go to look at your NFTs, whether it's on OpenSea or here, you're going to see that animation frozen in time. If you were just to load the app, come over to it, boop, click demo mode, you would be able to experience this without actually having to mint an NFT. And I did this, partially for my mom and partially for other people who might want to play with it but not really know how MetaMask works. If you do launch it in NFT mode, this is where it gets cool. What happens is if you own more than one sound in one category, those sounds morph to each other. So here we've got one pad sound over 16 bars of music slowly becoming another pad sound. And as it morphs from one sound to another sound, the colors change from one color to another color. Same thing happens with our rhythms and our drones. As they morph from one sound to another, the colors change and evolve too. Now, the way I envision this is that each NFT drop would represent a renderer. So this renderer you're seeing here with these balls bouncing around, that would be unique to this drop. A different drop would have a completely different renderer. And I used object-oriented JavaScript to make it really easy to just plug in a new renderer. An NFT drop also includes a bunch of colors that generally look good together, 30, 40, 50 colors that work at some level, and 30, 40, 50 sounds that just work well together. So no matter what you buy in a collection, it's going to work well together. Now, since I wanted to limit the number of sounds to around 30, 40, 50, I made it so that you could mint an NFT in editions. Right now, it's set to mint 42 per in each edition, but in the contract, that can all be set per collection. Now, all this is working. It's live. You can go to it. You can play with it. You can mint the NFTs. I sent the price really low to make it really easy for y'all to play with. There is a lot more I want to do with it too. It's all outlined in the README, but it's sort of at this point where if I want to take it further, I feel like I need user feedback. I need to talk to some of my musician friends, I need to talk to some of my NFT friends and get a better idea for what they think of it, how they want to take it forward. That's it. You only gave me 3 to 5 minutes. I hope you enjoy. Let's chill out to some music at the end. All the code is on GitHub. It's fully open source. All the third-party libraries I use are open source and they're linked in the README. There's a lot more info in the README and in my blog. Bye-bye. Peace out. See y'all later.